Pi network just made its biggest move yet. Protocol 23 is live on Testnet, and this update could change everything for millions of pioneers. But while Pi is leveling up, Interlink might be digging its own hole with a spin game that looks a whole lot like gambling. Today, I'm breaking down the truth about Protocol 23, the price outlook, AI-powered KYC, and why the Interlink spin game could be a trap. Let's start with Pi's price. Right now, Pi is trading around $0.3624. At first glance, that may not look like a huge number, but context is everything. Just weeks ago, Pi was holding near 33 cents. That's the level 1 highlighted before as an ideal entry zone. If you followed that call, you're already sitting on profits, and the technicals now point to more upside. Here's why. Pi has been consolidating in a range, building a base of support. With the protocol upgrade to version 23 underway and Chungyao fans scheduled to speak at upcoming events, catalysts are lining up. If adoption momentum builds, breaking through 40 cents becomes realistic. Small price movements might look minor, but for an asset as young and unlisted as Pi, they signal growing confidence in the ecosystem. Now let's talk about the real shocker that has caught the attention of every serious pioneer, Protocol 23. On Pi's official testnet, we've already witnessed the transition from version 22 to version 23, clearly labeled and actively being tested. At first glance, it might look like just another technical update, but in reality, this signals something much bigger. This is the Pi core team quietly but firmly confirming that they are finalizing one of the most critical upgrades in the history of Pi network. Why does this matter so much? Every blockchain must constantly solve the Holy Trinity problem: scalability, decentralization, and security. Most networks struggle to balance these three pillars. When one improves, the others often weaken. But Protocol 23 appears to be Pi's answer to leveling up all three at once, preparing the ecosystem for its biggest leap yet. On the scalability front, this protocol introduces mechanisms that allow the network to handle far more transactions without slowing down or clogging the system. This isn't theoretical, it's absolutely necessary when millions of pioneers begin transacting simultaneously, whether they're buying goods, transferring Pi, or using it within decentralized applications. Without scalability, the network would choke under real-world adoption. From a security perspective, Protocol 23 brings in stronger backend protections, safeguarding against hacks, exploits, and fraudulent wallet activities. This is one of the biggest concerns among community members, especially as Pi grows in visibility and value. With this upgrade, malicious actors will find it much harder to compromise wallets or manipulate the system, restoring confidence among pioneers who are cautious about moving their hard-earned Pi into everyday use. When it comes to functionality, Protocol 23 is a game-changer. It lays the groundwork for the Pi ecosystem to evolve beyond simple transactions. Think smart contracts, decentralized applications, DApps, and innovative financial tools built directly on Pi's blockchain. This transforms Pi from just a digital currency into a true platform for developers, entrepreneurs, and businesses to innovate on. In other words, Protocol 23 is not only about solving today's needs but also about unlocking tomorrow's opportunities. Ultimately, this upgrade is Pi preparing for the moment that everyone is waiting for, the full mainnet launch. When the network finally opens up to the world, it won't just be a trickle of users and apps. It will be millions of pioneers, merchants, businesses, and developers all interacting at once. For that to work seamlessly, the network must be rock solid, fast, and flexible. Protocol 23 is the signal that Pi is getting ready to step confidently into that future. One of the biggest expectations tied to Protocol 23 is the introduction of smart contracts. If Pi integrates them, developers can start building more advanced apps, marketplaces, and financial tools directly on the blockchain. This transforms Pi from just a mined coin into a true utility-driven platform. Alongside smart contracts, Pi core team has promised decentralized KYC. Until now, KYC has been one of Pi's bottlenecks, centralized, slow, and frustrating. By decentralizing it, verification can be handled across the network, reducing delays and giving pioneers more control. That's a huge shift because it brings Pi closer to being community-driven and less core team dependent. Here's where it gets really interesting. Pi is rolling out AI-assisted fast-track KYC. For years, KYC rejections were caused by rigid matching rules, slightly different photos, formatting issues, or document mismatches caused endless frustration. Now, AI can analyze these cases more intelligently, approving valid applications that would have been rejected before. The result? Faster approvals. Fewer false rejections. A smoother experience for pioneers who just want to migrate and use their Pi. There's also a major adoption angle. New pioneers will be able to activate a Pi wallet earlier, even before completing 30 mining sessions. That means they can join the ecosystem and start interacting sooner. But here's the catch. Fast-track KYC doesn't equal mainnet migration. Migration eligibility still depends on whether you meet the network's criterion. This distinction matters because it keeps Pi's rollout measured and prevents flooding the mainnet with unverified accounts. To put it simply, Protocol 23 is Pi's rehearsal for the big show. It's being tested on Testnet now, it will hit Testnet 2 next, and then it rolls out to Mainnet. Once Mainnet is fully upgraded, Pi core team's centralized influence fades, and the blockchain becomes more decentralized, community-driven, and transparent. This is what pioneers have been waiting for. Proof that Pi isn't just an idea, but a functioning, scalable, and secure blockchain ready for global adoption. Now, let's switch gears to Interlink. Many of you asked me to review the Q-Hong spin game. So I did. I played it live, tested it dozens of times, and here's my honest conclusion. It's gambling, plain and simple. Here's how it works. First spin is free. After that, every spin costs 50 ILTG. The prize table flashes tempting rewards. 300, 1000, even 5100 ILTG. But in reality, most spins return 20, 50, or nothing. Sure, you might hit a win occasionally, but the odds are stacked against you. Over time, the game reclaims what it gave. The structure is designed exactly like a slot machine. It gives just enough small wins to keep you playing, while draining your balance in the long run. This is the problem. Pioneers could burn through their mined ILTG chasing big rewards that almost never come. That creates a dangerous mindset of, just one more spin, which is exactly how gambling hooks people. For a project that claims to be serious and user-first, approving a gambling-style mechanic sends the wrong message. Instead of encouraging utility, adoption, and real growth, it risks turning pioneers into losers of a system stacked against them. My advice? Don't waste your ILTG here. Hold your tokens for long-term growth. Play once if you're curious, but don't make it a habit. Interlink needs to think carefully about whether games like this add value, or if they harm trust in the entire ecosystem. So here's the big picture. Pi Network is delivering on promises. Protocol 23 is already live on Testnet, final testing is underway, and pioneers should expect smart contracts, decentralized KYC, and AI-driven fast-track verification soon. The price is stable, adoption is growing, and momentum is building for the fully open mainnet. Interlink, on the other hand, has stumbled. The Q-Hong spin game might attract short-term hype, but long-term, it undermines credibility. Gambling mechanics don't align with the vision of a serious platform. This is why pioneers need to stay sharp. Not every update is good news. Some unlock real growth, while others can drain value. So tell me in the comments, do you think Protocol 23 will push Pi into a $100 million future, or is it just another promise waiting to break? And what's your take on Interlink's spin game, fun feature or dangerous trap? Smash that like button if you want Pi to win, subscribe with the bell on for instant updates. Group for real-time airdrop and news alerts. Because the truth is clear. This upgrade could define Pi's future, and expose who's really building versus who's just playing games.